This mistake got her arrested for insurance fraud. These reality TV stars are just getting out of hand. I don't even know why people watch it. If you want to see reality, you could just look out of your window for like 10 minutes. That's reality.
This Real Housewives star was just arrested for insurance fraud after she was caught doing an interview about an alleged burglary wearing the ring that she claimed was stolen. Now, if you pay a little bit of attention to reality TV, you probably know that the Real Housewives stars are no strangers to ending up in legal troubles.
Yeah, because let's just be honest here. If you're doing reality television, you're probably already on your last leg. That's usually the last sign of desperation. That's usually your last 15 minutes of fame and your cling to celebrity is when you start inviting an entire camera crew with the sound guy, the lighting guy, and everything sitting in the room while you're talking to your family members about private family business. You got to be pretty desperate to sign up for something like that. And to be honest, a lot of these people are desperate and they have an image to uphold, similar to rappers, because of the nature of their job. And when you don't have the money anymore because you already peaked, you start to get desperate on the downfall.
But the people we're talking about today, Wendy Osefo and her husband, Eddie Osefo, just got arrested for insurance fraud. And the way they were caught is just such a massive skill issue that I kind of had to cover it because this is just the pinnacle of laughably stupid. And now they're coming out and claiming that they were arrested illegally. So this
I didn't do nothing.
this will definitely be interesting. They're also demanding all evidence to be suppressed. So I'm pretty interested in seeing what is going to happen now. Because, I mean, just by looking at the publicly available evidence, it's safe to say it's not looking great for them. But just a little bit of background on the people we're talking about today. Wendy is a 41-year-old Nigerian-American political commentator. She's also a PhD holder and probably most well known to the general public for a spot on The Real Housewives of Potomac.
Oh, brother.
Like you call me Dr. Wendy. Address me correctly, sweetie. Having a PhD, less than 2% of the world has that.
Oh, brother. Where's Kevin Samuels when you need him? PhD's nuts. I remember saying you had a PhD came with some weight. Nowadays, they're just giving those things out to anybody who's willing to go $200,000 in the debt. It's so interesting how people will get those degrees and they think that the degree means that they have status, but really the degree is so that you can get a job that will actually give you status. Being just $200,000 in debt with a degree that's more worthless than toilet paper because it's not even soft enough to wipe yourself with is not a flex. It's not the flex that you think it is. You end up going to school to get a PhD and to be a lawyer, and you end up being the inmate. It's insane.
And her partner in crime, pun intended, is her husband, Edward, or Eddie Osefo. He's also an attorney and self-described serial entrepreneur, according to his Instagram bio. And this case definitely doesn't help the whole entrepreneur in bio stigma. Because
yeah, anytime people put entrepreneur in their bio, they usually are unemployed. They're usually unemployed or they do OF or some other type of sex work or something else sketchy. Because when you have an actual career, like if you work with concrete, you work with concrete. If you do landscaping, you say, I own a landscaping business. If you do real estate, you say, I'm a realtor or I'm a real estate investor. If you are a YouTuber, you say, I'm a YouTuber. Nobody who actually has a job says something vague like, I'm an entrepreneur. Anytime you see something vague like that, look for the OnlyFans link in the bio or something sketchy is going on in the background for sure. It's usually somebody that's just unemployed.
You know why? There's just a big correlation when it comes to people with entrepreneur in their Instagram bio and being arrested for scamming.
Yeah.
Then, I mean, on top of that, the fact that he's also an attorney makes the story even crazier because he knows the law. I guess he could, in theory, think that he knows it enough to try to bend the law a little bit. Clearly, they weren't that bright, but hey, we'll get into that later on. But on October 9th, a grand jury indicted Wendy on insurance fraud, conspiracy insurance fraud, and false statements to police officers. Both Wendy and Eddie were taken into custody on Thursday and released the next day after posting a $50,000 bond each. Wendy faces a total of 16 charges, while Eddie is facing 18 charges himself. So what happened for both of them to rack up over 3 dozen charges between the two of them? Well, back in April 2024, the couple reported a burglary after returning home from a vacation to Jamaica. Wendy claimed that several designer bags were stolen alongside of expensive jewelry and other various items.
Must have spent too much money in Jamaica, needed to get some of that back.
The time they totaled up all the alleged stolen items, they had signed statements claiming $2,500 for the building and $450,000 in profit.
This is why my insurance premiums keep doubling. I'm sick of this and I won't stand for it. My insurance premiums keep doubling because we have dummies in the world that's trying to beat the system. Luckily, they got beat by the system this time. But geez, man, that's why my insurance keep doubling.
But they started to raise some eyebrows when Eddie went back to his original claim submitted on April 8th, which he declared that he and Wendy were both wearing their anniversary bands when the burglary occurred. Because 2 days later, Eddie called the insurance company back and said he needed to update the claim because Wendy's anniversary band supposedly had been stolen after all. I mean, one would think that would be one of the first things you would notice if that was actually stolen, but who knows? But that same day, Travelers Insurance settled the claim for $25,000, which included $4,500 to replace the anniversary band. But this claim being settled did not stop Wendy and Eddie from submitting a second claim to Jewelers Mutual Insurance regarding the exact same burglary. And
Wow.
get this, they provided the insurance company with a list of 57 stolen items, with one of them being Wendy's gold anniversary band. Yes, the one they've already
Double
got
dipping.
paid out by another insurance company to replace. And not only that, but when Eddie was interviewed on April 22nd, 2024, he made no mention of the other claim and the subsequent payout from Travelers Insurance. But apparently, authorities
yeah,
were
he's
already
done.
suspicious about the circumstances of the burglary. Take, for instance, the total lack of any signs of forced entry into the home.
Patrol deputies and detectives found no signs of forced entry or physical evidence of a burglary, such as footprints, fingerprints, or any entry point.
And the fact that their ADT security system and Ring cameras both showed no signs of activity except for an Amazon driver.
It should be noted that the residence does have interior and exterior surveillance cameras. None of the cameras picked up any motion or indicated a breach inside of the house.
So you got ADT security cameras just to catch yourself doing a crime? Stupid is as stupid does, I guess.
Cameras also did not pick up any suspicious activity outside of the residence during the time the Yosefos were away from the residence. Detectives also checked surveillance cameras from neighbors. No evidence of a break-in or suspicious activity was noted at the Yosefos residence.
So naturally, this led them to dig into the couple's emails and social media accounts, as well as records from the various stores which the stolen items were purchased.
And I guarantee you they got emails and messages on their social media talking about how they plan on committing insurance fraud. Can't make it up. I guarantee it. I haven't seen this, but I guarantee you.
And this investigation determined that a number of these items that were reported stolen were actually items the couple had purchased and then returned to the store for a full refund. And this wasn't like right before the burglary.
Even worse.
No, some were actually years before the date of the alleged burglary. And I mean, this is just outrageous because here you have a 1400 Dior shirt that was listed as stolen, and that was actually returned on January 14th, 2023, more than a year before the burglary happened.
And I just gotta say this, man. If you're a younger person and you're looking at Instagram, you're a young lady, you're looking at Instagram and you're seeing these people who look like they're living a certain lifestyle, understand that there's something going on oftentimes, not every time, but understand that you don't see the part where they're doing OF and they're sad at night because they don't got nobody that love them, or they have a drug addiction because they have to do drugs or alcohol in order to do their job. You don't see that part. All you see is the glitz and glamour. When it comes to young men, when you're looking at some of these guys on social media, you see they driving fast cars and they say entrepreneur in their bio. You don't see what's happening behind the scenes. Just realize that life is a marathon, not a sprint. Slow motion is always better than no motion. And take your time and life, bro. Take your time and life, because ending up in a situation like this could be detrimental to your reputation and your life going forward. You making these types of mistakes in your damn 40s, you're silly. So just pay attention to what you see online and realize that a lot of it is fake. And even the stuff that isn't fake is usually sponsored by some type of illegitimate lifestyle, and they don't tell you the negatives that come with that certain lifestyle. So just take your time, man. Don't fall into the trap. Don't fall into the trap.
Then you had a Gucci wallet that was purchased in 2018, and then they refunded it for $948 the same year, just 2 weeks after buying it. But they still placed that as being stolen. Like, were these two just planning that far in advance that they kept records of every expensive item they ever bought? I mean, I find it very hard to believe that you forgot that you returned something 6 years prior and just assume it was stolen. And not only that,
that's
but
exactly what they do. They buy that stuff and then they show it on Instagram as a new purchase, and then they go and return it with the tag still on it because they can't actually afford it. But all your son sees or all your daughter sees is the new purchase, a $15,000 purchase, and they feel like that's something they got to keep up with and make bad life decisions in order to keep up with it. Or for girls in particular, they feel like they need to find a man that can afford that type of lifestyle, and there's such a small minority of them that the sheer amount of people on social media who are doing this type of stuff tells you that there's some foul play somewhere.
Wendy was posting on Instagram wearing the stolen band. And I mean, it's not even like one single slip up here. No, she was just rocking it all the time.
Yeah.
Like, you have all these photos of her wearing the band. And it seems like that was what got her caught, because she reported her ring as stolen and she wouldn't stop wearing the thing. Clearly, you do not get situational awareness from getting a PhD, because you would think these people would be a little bit too smart to be doing something like that. But I guess not, because, you know, PhD, attorney, somehow committing one of the dumbest crimes I've seen in a while. Like, this is just way too brazen. It's so out. They're public figures, and they're wearing the items that are stolen.
Well, if college was only for the best and the brightest, there wouldn't be that many people that would be able to go. But now it's not about that. It's about your willingness to go into debt, and they'll just throw you a degree, usually a useless degree in something that you'll never even find a job in, to be honest.
Figure out what the thought process behind all this was. And the even crazier part is the deputies actually obtained email records that found on April 12th on 2024, Eddie emailed a list of stolen items to Wendy and asked
I
if there was...
promise I have not seen this video. I promise I have not seen this video. But I could just tell. Of course, at some point, if you've gotten to the point where you're wearing the ring, the thing that you're reporting is stolen, in multiple pictures, even after you report it as stolen, on social media, as if they're not going to check your social media, then of course at some point you've slipped up and sent a text message or an email that talks about this type of stuff.
Any more additional high-value items that we can add to the inventory. Sorry, I'm not even full of the sentence. It's just so ridiculous. But it then goes on to say, I'm trying to get the total to exceed over $423,000, which is our policy maximum. Did you really just email that?
Yeah, you're going to max out the policy as if that's not suspicious.
Serious? I have a feeling that discovery in this case is going to be even crazier. So yeah, obviously, that's a terrible look. Openly admitting that you're trying to reach the maximum amount of your policy, that doesn't look good for them at all. Like, why would you ever send this as an email and create a paper trail? Honestly, it's unbelievable this guy is an attorney and thought this was a great idea. So when the Yosefos were arrested and authorities executed a search warrant and seized like a bunch of the stuff from their home, guess what? They found at least 15 items that appeared to be the same ones that they claimed to be stolen during the alleged burglary. So at this point, things are looking really bad for Wendy and Eddie. And like I said, it took them less than a day to post their $50,000 bail each and get released. But since they are reality TV stars, the news obviously spread like wildfire. The initial statement released by the representative for the couple said that Dr. Wendy Yosefo and her husband, Edward Yosefo, are back home safely with their family.
And I don't know how relevant they are, but this is something you'll notice if you get popular, is the people who like you, but when you start to go downhill, there are fewer people that like you, but the haters who hate you are always there. And they're waiting for the downfall. And they're looking for your information. And when they see that you got arrested or they see that there's any bad news, they're going to call up all the blogs and report it as news because they want to hate on you. There's nothing more. The only thing damn near more loyal than love on social media is hate. A hater going to stay loyal. There are people that watch my videos and they comment hateful messages every time, but I see them under every single video commenting. So I'm like, if you're watching the videos, God bless you, brother. It doesn't affect me, but I'm just like, there's nothing more loyal than a hater online. It's crazy that people revolve their entire lives around not liking a very specific person for whatever reason. I don't know how relevant they still are, but I'm just saying the haters are always active for sure.
And are in good spirits.
Maybe they have good reason to be hated. I don't know.
They're grateful for the outpouring of concern from support of fans and family and colleagues, and the Yosefos, alongside of their legal team, look forward to their day in court. At this time, they respectfully ask for privacy as they focus on their family and legal process ahead. Well, they have quite the legal uphill battle. But it'll be interesting to see what kind of information they pull out to, I guess, try to back this up. Because this case looks pretty much like a slam dunk to me, but hey, I'm no legal expert. But now, the tone of the couple has kind of changed, because on October 17th, court documents were filed by the Yosefos' lawyer demanding all charges to be dismissed due to the alleged defects in the charging document. So now, they're on the offense, and it's safe to say that, honestly, is just going to make court way more interesting. She also demanded all evidence to be be suppressed because of an unlawful search and seizure. And also for all the wire and verbal communications to be suppressed because of an unlawful interception. So Wendy is essentially accusing the police of an illegal arrest and is trying to turn the tables back onto them. In a separate filing, Wendy's lawyer demanded all prosecutors to turn over any alleged evidence.
Isn't it crazy how you could obviously commit a crime, but because it's almost like every superhero movie ever. It's like where the hero has a heavier burden because he has to protect the innocent. It's like the people who are trying to catch criminals always have a heavier burden. Well, not in every case, but in some cases have a heavier burden because they have to do things by the book. And if the criminal can prove that they didn't do things by the book, even if it's obvious that they committed the crime, they could just walk out the door. That's just crazy to me.
And she demanded a list of all witnesses the prosecutors plan to call and any polygraph results of witnesses questioned by law enforcement. Wendy also wanted to know if the prosecutors had any confidential informants who worked along the investigation and asked for copies of all official police reports. And on October 19th, Wendy broke her silence on social media after the arrest. And here she wrote on Instagram, "And through it all, God remains faithful. Thank you for all the outpouring of love, support, and prayers for myself and most importantly, my family."
I hate somebody that involves God. She didn't say that she was innocent. She's just saying that she can get away on a technicality. You did the crime. This has nothing to do with God. I just really dislike this type of stuff. You'll see rappers win an award for a song called Coochie 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 or I like to slap women or whatever the song title is. They'll get on stage and say, "I'd like to thank God for this award." I cringe at it every time. The Christians should be offended. I hate when people mention God when it comes to just stupid stuff like this. Keep it to yourself. That's between you and you, buddy.
During this time, we are forever grateful. Tune into Bravo TV tonight for a new episode of Real Housewives of Potomac. I mean, hey, she's just doing her job. And ironically, when these stars get into drama like this, the pay goes up dramatically because a lot more attention is on the show. Yep. And that's just how reality stars work. That's kind of why you have this like odd incentivization for reality TV stars to get into trouble. Because at the end of the day, when more attention's on them, they get paid more. Yeah, but it seems like she's going to need all the thoughts and prayers that she can ever get, because Carroll County's state attorney, Haven Shoemaker, told reporters that the next hearing on this case is going to be on November 7th. So it seems like we're not actually going to have to wait too long to find out what's going to happen with the fraud charges or Wendy's allegations here, since hopefully most of it will be addressed during that scheduled hearing. But I'll definitely keep my eyes on this one because I feel like this is going to be a pretty interesting case.
The world's dumbest criminal might have just turned into the world's smartest criminal. They might actually get away with it. I'm gonna keep y'all updated on the story. Let me know in the comments below if this video was a W or L, and give me the HBO special. That's help brother out special with the like and the subscribe button for more content. Till next time.